Trans athletes have an unfair advantage. Trans athletes should have a separate category in certain sports.
Facts.
Sports should be gender neutral.
If you truly believe that trans women have an advantage, even with hormones, then that means you truly believe that trans men have a disadvantage, even with hormones. So the argument that you hear most of the time is against trans women. So does that mean that you're okay with trans men having that disadvantage?
What? Hold on, this might be a W YouTube video because I'm trying to see what the... I'm trying to see what the people that think they don't have an advantage got to say. Because, you know, I'm going to put them in their place. You know me.
Hi, my name is Howard. I've been a swimmer for 13 years and currently I'm on the UCLA triathlon team.
My name's Jing and I've been swimming for 11 years.
Hi, I'm Lexi. I've been playing indoor volleyball for 7 years. I've been playing beach volleyball for 3 years.
My name is Afton. I play women's flat track roller derby, and I've been playing since the end of 2018.
My name is Mac Beggs. I'm a wrestler. I've been in combat sports for 8 years.
My name is Sydney. I played tennis growing up for 13 years, and now I am a fitness coach.
Trans athletes have an unfair advantage.
Okay, so step up if you agree. Transgenders have an unfair advantage. You know how this works. I paused the video and I answered the question and then we'll see what they say. So of course they have an advantage, right? Like if I'm a man and I put on a wig and cut off my dick, I'm still a man. You feel me? So you just gotta understand that I will have an advantage over a girl any time of the fucking day. You feel me? Like, let's say basketball, just you guys know that men have an advantage when it comes to physical shit. So, maybe if a guy took like that shit that makes you have less hormones type shit, I don't know what the fuck that is, makes you less manly basically. Maybe that, like I'm not gonna get into that, but I mean it is transgender, so we have to get into that. But all I'm saying is there was a transgender that won a gold medal 3 years in a row. And she was literally a man, bro. She did not take no shits. She just literally put on a wig. You don't even have to cut off your dick to be a transgender. Do you? Chat, do you have to, wait. Before we start this video, so I don't sound stupid, I have to search up the definition of a transgender. So, yeah, so you don't have to cut off your dick. You don't have to cut off your dick. And you don't have to take those hormone shits. You can just identify as a transgender. So, if I identify as a transgender and go on weightlifting for girls, it's definitely unfair.
Step forward if you agree.
When you first think about like transgender athletes, I guess the first thing you think about is, well, biologically, transition usually happens after puberty, right? So if this biologically male athlete goes through puberty, he gets like better bone structure, he has all these skills that he enhances, all these muscle that he puts on, and then he transitions. Yes, your testosterone levels go down, but you're always just gonna have that like things that you've gone through like during puberty that you have after you've transitioned. Right. So I feel like there's always gonna be that advantage.
I think it's dependent on the gender that they are transitioning to. For example, trans women do have somewhat of an advantage. Biological men are naturally born with higher bone density and larger lung capacity and a larger heart, and that's not something that can necessarily be changed with hormones. Of course, this isn't the same for trans men athletes.
For me, it's just on average, guys are typically a little bit stronger, a little bit larger, a little bit taller.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, obviously, like if a girl became a transgender and became a man, and like she came to my soccer team, she would have a disadvantage because we're men. She's not a man, she's a girl. We'll always have that advantage. So transgenders only have an advantage when it comes to transgender women. So people that used to be a man that transitioned into a woman, right? And the other thing is, Lexi's not a trans. She was literally standing under cis athletes versus trans athletes. She was standing on the cis side. So Lexi, yeah.
So depending on the sport especially,
I wouldn't cuff the bitch.
It can give them a large advantage when you're looking at something like that. When it's something like swimming, having that ability to be a little bit larger lung capacity will overall affect that.
Can I have the disagreeer step forward?
Yeah.
Among cisgender men and cisgender women, there are naturally differences in their anatomy, in their hormonal levels, in their height, bone structure, all that stuff. Like any cisgender woman compared to another might have a different body type. Yeah. Some women are naturally very strong. If you take the advantage, which I think in most cases is the hormones, and if you compare the blood work and you're just looking at that, if they're on the same level, in my opinion, there just isn't an advantage, because when you grow up playing sports, some people are good at sports, some people aren't.
The problem I see with this argument is that there's a large group of people that...
Okay, so this is the nigga we need to talk about, right? This is the nigga we need to talk about, because this nigga is a nigga, and he's like, he transitioned into a female. And he's saying, what the fuck is roller... Oh my god, Ted. This is what I hate about these videos. They always gotta make these complicated ass fucking words. Roller what? Nearby? What the fuck is that? This is not... Bro, oh my god, bro. What the fuck? I mean, it matches his appearance, bro.
No matter what I do in a sport, will always automatically assume that I have an advantage. But they're not taking into account hours that I put into practice, hours that I put into weightlifting to become a better athlete. Roller derby is probably 90+% cis women. I get my ass handed to me. Like, yeah.
You're a fucking, like, you're a walking Elden. So...
Yes, I am tall, and I can see that that can be an advantage in some sports. But it doesn't necessarily guarantee that I have an advantage.
Oh, yeah.
No, but advantage is nothing guaranteed, chat. Like, okay, so let's say I'm a guy, right? I'm a guy, and there's a girl. Let's talk about the strongest girl in the world. She can definitely lift more than me, right? But I don't put in a quarter of the work she's putting in. So even though she lifts more than me, I still have an advantage over her, because if I worked as hard as her, I would be lifting more than her. That's an advantage. You don't have to be better than somebody to have that advantage. Like, I still have the advantage because, like I said, if I worked as hard, or if she didn't work at all, just like me, I would lift more than her. And that's an advantage.
What we usually hear in the news and politics and stuff is about trans women, just because they're in so much prominence, because they are winning. Like, I can't remember what her name is right now, but she was a power lifter. She is a power lifter. I think she went to Tokyo Olympics, and she's transgender. And they're winning by a large amount of weight.
If you truly believe that trans women have an advantage, even with hormones, then that means you truly believe that trans men have a disadvantage, even with hormones.
Yeah,
so the argument that you hear most of the time is against trans women. Yeah. So does that mean that you're okay with trans men having that disadvantage?
Nobody said they're okay with it. They just don't have an advantage. As long as disadvantage hurts you, advantage hurts the people you're competing with, right? So let's say I'm playing soccer and I go 2 years up. So let's say I'm 15 years old, I go 2 years up, and play 17-year-olds, play with 17-year-olds. Nobody's really gonna complain about a 15-year-old playing. If anything, they're gonna say it's too easy. Because I'm only hurting myself, I'm not hurting them. But if I go down 2 years and play with 13-year-olds, everybody's gonna complain because I have an advantage and I'm hurting them. Like, it's not fair. You know what I'm saying? So that's literally the answer. Like, yes, transgender men have a disadvantage, but nobody cares because you're only hurting yourself. Like, if you're playing with real men, you're only hurting yourself. Like, you're not hurting the people that are actually cis. You're not hurting the competition. But when you're a transgender woman, though, like, you're shitting on every woman working not even half as hard as her.
When I was like going through high school, I wrestled against females. I had to suppress both my hormones in my body, and I was still able to beat the men too, with my like levels low. Like, and I cut 15 pounds a week. Like that was crazy.
Yeah,
but like that's what I'm saying. Like the body is like a shell, and what we do every single day in the practices and the like life lessons that we get, like living 40 years on this earth, you know, we just try to live life the best we can.
Alright, so this is transgender men that used to be a female, because this shit's confusing. Like, transgender men that used to be a female is saying that transgenders don't have an advantage. I mean, I would agree with him because he doesn't have an advantage at all. But there's a reason that girls, transgender women, are hitting record breakers, like the weightlifting we just saw, the 3 gold medals I told you about. But I've never seen a single transgender men even coming top 10 in anything.
Yeah.
Trans athletes should have a separate category in certain sports.
Facts. Step up, bro. Like, I mean, I don't know why what a man is in this. Like,
I don't want to say that they should be in a completely different category, just because socially and legally, yes, they are that gender that they transition to.
Don't know why I follow you, my boy. Hey,
just seems,
better let the never, right?
In hindsight, it seems wrong, but
come
as
on,
an
welcome
athlete,
to the stream,
like,
buddy.
in the sporting world, it just does seem a little bit unfair if you classify them under the same group, I guess.
Yeah, I think that there definitely are some sports where your physical ability makes a much larger impact.
I need to search these sports up to like actually like comment on what they're saying, bro. What the fuck? I can't even say that, bro. TRIATHL. Okay, so the nigga bikes. Why don't you just say the nigga bikes, bro? The nigga bikes. Like, the fuck is... I don't even know how to pronounce that, bro. But anyways, like, he shouldn't be complaining. He shouldn't even be in this debate.
It's where your physical ability makes a much larger impact on the sport itself. Wrestling would be one of them. Swimming, track, something like that. But if you look at NASCAR as a sport, I believe that anyone can then go and do that sort of sport because that's more of a technique. If you look at other sports like golf, it requires a lot of technique and a lot of strength, plus video games.
Not really a lot of strength. Thank you for the raid of full people. W raid in the chat, no cap. Stop playing with my nigga 12 beats. But W's in the chat. But let me tell you this. That is a fair point. I'm not going to get into is NASCAR a fucking sport or not. Because it's just a dumbass argument. Like, is golf a sport? Bro, come on, bro. Like, but anyways, they're called a sport, so we're just going to refer to them as sports. If a girl gets in a car and a guy gets in a car, there's no reason the girl shouldn't be able to beat the guy. Like, it doesn't really take a lot of strength to hit the gas, right? It doesn't really take a lot of strength to shift. So, like, a man has no advantage, a girl has no advantage, right? Even golf, I don't think so. Like, golf, I feel like it's more about technique than strength. Because if you know the technique, I feel like anybody can hit it far. So, but like, we're talking about sports, basketball, soccer, wrestling, boxing, UFC. Wait! I have a question for you transgenders, okay? Why are you playing these sports, right? All these sports. Why doesn't a transgender man try boxing, huh? Try boxing and see how that goes. Why am I, well, oh my god, I can't speak right now. I can't say boxing for some reason. Transgender men. How about you guys try boxing and see how that goes? UFC maybe. Wrestling maybe. Yeah. That's what gonna happen to you niggas. Make them. Niggas getting knocked out and shit.
Now starting to make a massive rise. So all of those could definitely have both genders in it with no problem. For swimming especially, if I were to decide that I would like to transition and then start all of the hormone therapy for a year or so, then obviously I would probably lose some muscle mass and I would slow down in my swimming, but I don't know if that slowdown would necessarily be enough to make it fair for the cis females that I'd be competing up against.
The danger of it is that you're possibly outing somebody. In America alone, there's several places that it's still extremely dangerous to be an open transgender person. To say that you can't perform unless you're in this group, there's just a lot of safety reasons for that individual that it's not.
What the fuck? Where is this conversation going, nigga? This nigga's talking about the safety of transgenders, nigga. Wait. This nigga's literally saying right now, as of right now, this thing is literally saying transgenders should not have their own sports because it's dangerous for transgenders. Nigga, that's not a valid argument.
Good. Second thing, where does the line draw? You're saying swimming, and you had mentioned earlier that like height was an advantage. Did I go through puberty as a male? Yes. But in order to...
Do you still have a beard? Yes, bro. Do you still look like a man? Yes, bro. Are you stronger than a motherfucker? Yes, bro. Jesus Christ. This nigga just put some titties on his chest, called it a day, bro. Nigga, remove the beard too, my
I have an advantage because I was born with testosterone. Is the equivalent of saying that, oh, I went to this gym one time and I lifted and I had a protein shake, so I should never have to take a protein shake again because it's in my body. And the medicine I'm taking...
Chat, listen to him one more time, just in case you guys didn't hear him.
Testosterone is the equivalent of saying that I go through puberty as a male? Yes. But in order to say I have an advantage because I was born with testosterone, is the equivalent of saying that, oh, I went to this gym one time and I lifted and I had a protein shake, so I should never have to take a protein shake again because it's in my body. And the medicine I'm taking stops that testosterone. I don't have that anymore. Like, my entire body, my entire mind, my entire way of thinking is different because of the medicine I'm on.
Are we gonna start making?
Wait. Like he thought he ate, and that's the worst part. Like I feel like I'm more embarrassed for him than he is embarrassed for himself, right? And like I shouldn't, like I don't feel like I should go through that. You know what I'm saying? So like fuck you for that. And second of all, didn't you, like, the girl was literally talking about how the bone structure, the lung capacity, and stuff like that actually matters. And this nigga just go and talk about testosterone and just call it a day, bro. Men have an advantage at the end of the day. You are a lot taller than the average girl. Let's just get that out the way. If this nigga was playing basketball, he'd be smacking bitches. That nigga still got more muscles than me, nigga. You see that? That nigga still, bro. This nigga still got a dad bod. Look at this nigga, bro. He roller skating this shit. Of course you don't have an advantage of roller skating, big fat ass nigga. But if you try to do some football shit, try to do some wrestling, boxing shit, you see your advantage, bro.
I don't have that anymore. Like, my entire body, my entire mind, my entire way of thinking is different because of the medicine I'm on.
Are we going to start making categories for cis athletes? Okay, you're in a category if you're 5'9" and above, 5'7" to 5'9", you know, 5'5" to 5'7", weights, like all those things. It's like, exactly where is the line drawn?
I mean,
because
they do have weights. Can you say it? She's about to say it right now.
Do have weight categories?
Well, yeah, for
like,
certain sports, of course, but
yeah.
I mean.
Shut your big dumb ass up. Shut your gay ass up. Shut your ass up. You thought he ate with that foot.
Where is the line drawn?
I mean, they do have weight categories.
Well, yeah, for
like,
certain sports, of course. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think just generally, every person is different. And like you were saying, like the cis women that were getting cut because they're naturally, you know, more athletic to some standard that's set. It's like,
Or even the varying levels of test.
Okay, so there's naturally gifted and there's artificial. Nigga, it's like taking... It's like weightlifting but not being clean. Like, it's like taking, what was that called? Bro, what do weightlifters... Bro, I forgot the word. What do weightlifters be taking to become more bulk? Steroids. Yeah. It's like taking that and comparing that to a natural person. Like, a person can have good genetics, but that's natural. You can't really compare that to something you gained off something man-made.
Testosterone.
Exactly.
Oh, you're in this box, so now you're in this league.
yeah.
I wasn't by any chance trying to discriminate against them and try and put them in their own category
Yeah.
in that way. It was more just by a performance standpoint,
need
we
to be nice,
already
bro. Tell them
do
how it is,
separate
bro.
everyone into their own different levels. You don't have Olympic athletes coming and competing at state
Club levels.
club levels.
Doesn't that defeat the purpose of trying to become a better athlete then?
If they're trying to work up to a goal, I'm not entirely sure.
So if you're good enough, you're gonna.
Bro, like, look at this shit. This shit is making me, like, oh my god.
Have Olympic athletes coming and competing at state
Club levels.
club levels.
Doesn't that defeat the purpose of trying to become a better athlete then?
If they're trying to work up to a goal, I'm not entirely sure.
So if you're good enough, you're going to be singled out and have to go. There's no proof of any trans athlete that is #1 in any category right now.
Yeah, that's because I think they're being held back so much by just like the media and everything that you don't get to see their chance to shine in that sense.
What would you guys say to like transgender people who transitioned before puberty?
In that instance, I think I would take a step back and
Bro, this guy should, bro, he's stuck in his girl days, chat. My nigga talks like this. What do you think about my nigga? That nigga's stuck in his girl days, bro. Look.
Before puberty.
in that instance, I think I would take a step back and kind of look at it more at like my own argument, like it was a scientifically based on like puberty and stuff. So I would like consider like that would be different, but my mindset just coming into this, I mean,
they're being so nice, bro.
think that most people go through transitioning like after puberty, or it's like encouraged to. Yeah.
For me,
That's
it's
the way
more
it
if they
makes
end
sense,
up just fitting the category, regardless if they do it before puberty or after puberty. If they have the right amount of testosterone, they did all the right testing all beforehand, then why not? Then you don't even need to separate them. They might as well just compete as a trans athlete.
Hormone testing is fair.
What does hormone testing mean? I don't even
Like
know
the
how
Olympics
this shit
tests,
is
college
talking
level
about.
tests. I know, like in Texas, at my high school level, the UIL organization, they tested.
Yeah, let's skip this
and
question,
you know,
Chad.
it's to keep everybody safe. And I think it's okay to test.
I feel
Levels
like
are
I can't really argue with
too
that.
high,
Like, it's
and
just gonna
that's
be
where
some
legislation can get really difficult to write.
I am treated fairly by my fellow athletes.
They're not gonna step up. The transgenders are not gonna step up. Oh, the big nigga stepped up.
I joined roller derby only like 4 months after I decided to transition and get onto hormones. Everyone from the beginning was very accepting. Roller derby is almost too accepting from my experience, because I forgot how bad the real world can be sometimes. Not everyone is going to be, but my personal experience has been very positive.
Growing up, I in my club, I trained with my brother, and we were like kind of in the distance group, so it was mostly guys there, and they never really saw me as like she's a girl, you know. They just saw me as like another competitor, and it was always just fun, like racing, and like it just made me grow up love being in the sporting world and being competitive with everyone, so yeah.
I definitely get a lot of hate like online, but I've never personally gotten any like issues. Like everyone that's in the gym is just trying to get better for the most part. Obviously that kind of communal idea is really like helpful as far as me not getting so much hate.
Lonely times.
This
is kind of confusing. Oh, okay, never mind.
High school, when I came out like prominently, everybody knew that I was trans, and there was a coach that exploited me in a lawsuit to try to ban me in high school. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Wow.
I was on hormone blockers, and it was suppressing my estrogen and testosterone. And even though everybody knew who I was, when it came to like after junior high, when he did that, it was.
Oh, he transitioned into a male, right? Let's double check that, bro.
To try to ban me in high school, that came out like prominently.
He's a male, okay.
And even though everybody knew who I was, when it came to like after junior high, when he did that, it was so aggressive. Parents would scream from the stands that they wanted to hurt me. As being a trans man and just in my life in general, my family doesn't come from much, and we work very hard. And I'm like the first generation to try to become something. So. I mean,
and you become a trans. And you become a trans. Oh man.
Yeah.
Sports should be gender neutral.
Your body's a vessel. It shouldn't matter whether you're male or female, because I feel like sports in general is growing. Especially there's this like little girl in wrestling. She wrestled.
Somebody need to get this nigga. Somebody needs to humble this nigga. Some filthy ass wrestler needs to get this nigga, just slam him on the ground and finish that nigga a 1 second win type shit. So this nigga can notice how much advantage men have. This guy's in over his head, bro. He beat a few weak ass niggas. He thinks
in the junior division and in wrestling and
let him knock himself out, bro. Like I said, he has a disadvantage, so we don't care.
Yeah. I was like,
we only care about niggas like on the right side. You know what I'm saying? A man trying to like compete with women, bro. Bro, I swear to God, the day somebody gets to the UFC ring or a boxing ring with a girl and they used to be a man and they beat the shit out of him, is the day this world is gonna end.
So I feel like as the sport's growing, as we're evolving as a society and we're being very progressive, that it should get to the point if we're talking about gender neutral bathrooms, why can't we talk about gender neutral sports?
I actually rode and showed equestrian for 10 years, and I was like one of two.
You heard that shit, right? We're talking about gender neutral bathrooms, so why not talk about gender neutral athletes? This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, where does it stop? I've been saying this a year ago, chat, and you guys, the OGs, know. I've been saying this a year ago. There's this one girl that identifies as a horse. The bitch runs like a horse. You can't make it up. You can't make this up. Like, it hurts your head. Like, I don't want to be around this chat. I'm going to Ethiopia as soon as I can, bro. I'm doing college here. I'm gonna go to Ethiopia and live there, bro. 100%. I don't want to be around this shit. This is weird.
Men at the time, and then there are other roller derby leagues that are co-ed, and they work fine. Like, women are going up against men, and they're bashing each other, and they're like going at it. There's a lot of things.
The guy
I feel
said,
like sports are
that
one
guy
of these
that
things
said
where it's like it has to be this,
7 feet.
or it has.
The nigga was on like, bro. The nigga was on like some shit that, like, if I stand on this chair, bro, chat, you can't make this up. Like, a guy said I identify as 7 feet. If I stand on this chair, tell my mom to come in the room, and I with a straight face, I tell her I identify as I am 9 feet tall. She go, get your ass off that chair, nigga. Get your ass off that chair, nigga. And that's how it should be. If my kid came up to me, standing on something, talk about I identify as 6 feet tall at 13 years old, nigga, I'd be like, get off that shit. Get off that shit, nigga. What you doing, bro? Nigga, wake up, bro. We in the real world, my nigga. Like, these niggas is delusional, bro. Get your ass off of that shit. Get a life, bro. Get a job. Ain't nobody gonna hire you on that shit, nigga. Get a job, bro. Like, god damn it, man. Like,
it's to be that.
Word to my
the same
mother,
as
bro.
gender. It has to be this or it has to be that, and it's not.
For me, the issue that I would start seeing with this is when we start looking at scholarships. And for college level, if you start combining the sports by gender, then scholarships are always given to the top athletes.
That is a factual statement.
What happens to the females that now need that scholarship necessarily to go to college?
Say goodbye.
But now
That's
you've just all thrown them into one category. It all of a sudden breaks that whole opportunity for them to maybe even go to college because now they've been training to be able to provide for themselves in college.
Why is nobody bringing up the boxing and
now,
UFC
since
shit,
it's
though?
all one level playing field,
I'd be like, all right, you ugly ass nigga. You and her, get in a fight right now, bro. Let's see who wins, bro. And we gonna see who wins, nigga. BKORBY. Thank you for the rated 9, man. That's love, man. Hey, that's love, man. W raid, man. W raid, man. W raid, man. Fist bump, dude. Thanks, dude. Fucking hell, man. Means a lot, dude. You know what I'm saying? Niggas trying to make it out and shit. Means a lot, dude. Alright, my fault.
Maybe they can beat the males, but on average, they probably won't be able to, especially depending on the sport.
Well, trans athletes aren't even getting scholarships either. I'm a 2-time state champion in high school. Didn't get a scholarship. I just now been able to get my scholarship 3 years.
Hey, wipe your tears, my nigga. Wipe your tears, my nigga. You are a man now. You chose this life. Niggas don't cry, bro. Wipe your tears, my nigga. The nigga was talking like this. Now he about to cry and shit, nigga. You were not ready to be a man, bro.
Into being on a male team.
Yeah, but we're talking like hypothetically in the perfect world if sports was gender neutral.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like it's all hypothetical.
Yeah,
everything's hypothetical.
That's not what
in a
you're
sense
saying,
because
though.
we don't have enough.
That's literally not what you just
I feel
said.
as though making all sports gender neutral in that way, there is still some
1X was goody. Welcome to the stream, man.
Benefits to being.
Oh yeah, he gave me that fist bump back. Let's go. WV in the chat.
I can't get over the fact that there are going to be all these very obvious differences, not advantages, but just differences.
Like, stop sugarcoating shit, bro. Stop. Like, this is the problem. Like, this is why they're getting so comfortable, bro. I ain't mean. I'm truthful. Tell a bitch straight like that. I'm not mean. I just don't lie, baby. I'm not gonna lie for your feelings, baby. I'm an honest man. And I'm not gonna stop being an honest man because of your feelings, nigga. Tell him straight like that, nigga. Look, the transgender nigga, bro, he's roller skating and shit. He thinks shit is fair. Go fight a bitch, see what happens, my nigga. Like, this is sad, bro. Like, look at how nice she's being. I understand why she's being so nice, but like, I mean, you could say it in a respectful manner, but like at this point, like, bro, like, this is the reason why, like, you're making them think that they have some sort of an argument. Just put them in their place.
Sports. It's not going to be a co-ed team
Look at
versus
this
an
nigga,
all-male
bro.
team. It's going to be a co-ed team versus a co-ed team. So I feel like there would still be strategy that
he's claiming that he's a girl.
Have to be played into it.
Ain't nobody believing
like
that.
Individually.
Yeah, individual. And I can see like where you're coming from that. And you mentioned wrestling earlier. Just the whole combat sport community in general does have a long way to go. Definitely not completely supportive of trans athletes, but in a sense of like when I've noticed in just like studying of how like female athletes are and male athletes are, the best like MMA female athletes, cis, have male MMA, training partners.
Hold on. Let's go back. Finally, somebody talked about
athletes,
MMA.
But in a sense of like when I've noticed in just like studying of how like female athletes are and male athletes are, the best like MMA female athletes, cis, have male training partners.
Okay.
And most of the time, like, they're kicking their ass unless, like, they're training for, or unless they have somebody that's better than them to push them.
Let me repeat what he just said, just in case you guys didn't hear. Right. He said, this is what he said. He said, top cis female fighters, top MMA cis female fighters, they usually have male partners. What he means by partners, trainers, he means sparring partners. And they kick their ass. Nigga, wake up, bro. Wake up, gang. Wake the fuck up, gang. Like, this is hurting my soul, bro. Get your delusional ass out of my face, bro. Like, what? If the nigga wanted to beat her ass, he would beat her ass. First of all, like I said, what was her name? The manly looking bitch that be beating everyone's ass in the UFC. Bro, what's her name, bro? Bro, what's her name, bro? UFC girls. What was her name, bro? That champion, bro. What was her name? What's her name? What's her name? Ronda Rousey. Okay, she'll probably beat my ass. Why? She been training all her life to fight. Right? She'll probably beat my ass. Like, I'm not gonna cap and say I'll beat her ass. She'll probably beat my ass. But I still have an advantage. Why? Because if I trained as much as her, I would beat her ass 100%. As a man, I have an advantage. If she didn't train just like me, if she didn't train at all just like me, I would beat her ass. You see where the advantage is? Like, she could beat my ass. That doesn't mean I don't have an advantage over her just because she's a girl. I do have that advantage because if I trained as much as her, I would beat her ass 100%. If she didn't train at all just like me, I would beat her ass 100%.
And then that's just making them a better
D-Smoke, thank you for pulling up, saying what's up, Brody. Love, man. I'll see you tomorrow, Brody.
Gorgeous kids. And
they're not your kids.
Extremely accepting. I have two gorgeous kids.
They're not your kids.
And it's so cool to have them play on a playground and explain to their new friends who I am and like watch them do that. And their kids, like their friends will be like, oh, okay. You know, but you talk to an adult and they're like, you know, because you have this instilled, like what you were saying, this instilled education from the time you were born that has basically said that, no, this is wrong. You have to have this group, you have to have this group, you have to have this group. Like, I do talk about it a lot with people, but I have to understand that it's not my responsibility to educate everyone. Like, I have to be able to cross that line where it's like, mentally, I can't do it anymore. Like, I need to step back for a little bit. But like you said, like, ask questions. Like, if you're genuine, as long as I know it's not malicious,
yeah,
ask a question. Don't freaking ask me about my genitals. Like,
yeah,
that's none of your freaking.
I'm sorry. He said, ask questions. Everybody knew what question he was gonna get asked. He said, don't ask about my genitals. That's none of your business. Word to my mother, I was gonna say, is your dick still there? Word to my mother, I was gonna ask that. The nigga cut me off. He said, don't ask about my genitals.
Ask questions. Like, if you're genuine, as long as I know it's not malicious,
yeah,
ask a question. Don't freaking ask me about my genitals. Like,
yeah,
that's none of your freaking business.
Be respectful.
Don't ask me about my genitals.
I just want to know, like, have you guys ever had, like, you were talking about your scholarship. Do you guys feel like you have less opportunity in the sense of, like, competitions and, like, scholarships just because you guys are trans?
When COVID started, roller derby, since then, has not gotten back together. So I lost my sport, which was something that was, like, really kept my brain in focus and, like, centered me. So I got into powerlifting. I lift because I enjoy it. but I don't even try and compete just because people are gonna like I don't want the backlash on it. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's.
Don't say sorry to that nigga. Look at me, girl. Don't say sorry to that nigga. What is wrong with you? That's not your fault. This nigga lifted with women and shit. This nigga going, bro, look at this. Like, this guy's actually built, bro. He can lift more than me. Fuck the girls. He can lift more than me. Nigga, mink, gonna beat all the bitches and he gonna flex his gold medal. Put that shit down, nigga. What's wrong with you, my nigga? Oh my God.
It's gotten, for me, to that point a little bit. A couple of years ago, it was like all too much, and it took my coach was fortunate and supported me through like my academic journey, and he was like, if you feel like you can't do this anymore, like as long as you got good grades, like, and you know, when we're being asked like in high school, like when we're like gonna be competing on a high level, you know, the first thing that comes out of a recruiter's mouth is, what are your grades?
I'll post clips from this.
Good you are.
And a diss track's coming out tomorrow. Diss track coming out tomorrow. Who's excited?
Like, feel oppressed sometimes and don't even try, you know?
I hope this educates people.
Yeah.
Educates us so much, nigga.
Middle ground, like, yes!
Mic drop right there.
The man barely got to talk, bro. I would have been talking shit. Word 2, I would have been talking shit.